Hello, and welcome back to another Novasphere community update. This week is a little bit special because we're gonna announce, drumroll, Discussions 2 Beta Desktop. So finally, we've been working on Discussions 2 for a very long time, and now I think we have enough of the product put together that we can open up for public testing. So we're gonna be dropping. You could check it out now if you go to beta.discussions.app. That's beta.discussions.app. So there's a whole ton of new stuff that's on there, but I'm gonna let Fix talk a little bit about that, and then I'll fill in where he's missed anything. So Fix, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, thank you very much. So I just dropped an announcement with the link to the beta. So this represents kind of a fulfillment of some of the promise that we were aiming for, which is to build a system that was accessible and usable by people without having them to rely so heavily on blockchain technology. So the first thing you'll notice is when you go to sign up, there's no scatter prompt. There's no scatter login. We currently do not support interaction with scatter or with EOS accounts directly. There will be an ability to link your EOS account later down the line, but there will be no necessity to do that in order to take advantage of all the features that we're bringing. So right now we're using a brain key login system that we that we're hoping makes this more portable, makes this more anonymous and private, and then ultimately gives you the flexibility you might want. So you could verify your identity and post that this is coming from you. You could link up your different social media accounts and make this sort of the hub of activity. But you could also have a completely private and anonymous experience if you'd like. Some things to note about. Some other things to note is that we've been working hard to refine the UI UX, so it's a little bit cleaner design. The functionality is a little smoother. It's a much faster system. I will note that it only is currently optimized for desktop. So if you try to access this on the mobile, you'll be able to access it. You could actually log in, but it looks kind of crazy still. So we haven't optimized. We do have a design for mobile. We just haven't. The front end hasn't been built to kind of optimize that. You also notice there's a lot of features that don't seem to do anything, and they don't yet because we haven't filled out all the sort of profile features. So if you go in there, you don't get a lot of that stuff's not connected yet. But some main things are, so if you make a new post, you can at another user in the thread, and they'll get a notification that they've been mentioned. Coming soon will be the ability to at anyone, any username based on that's a little trickier, but we're going to get that built out. So it'll be people that you're following. You'll be able to send messages to them or whatever via a thread. So if you're talking about something, you can keep a conversation going. We've already noticed that it's much easier to manage conversations with the ability to see that people have responded to you and exactly where that is. The posting limit is much higher. We don't know what the limit is yet because we haven't been able to break it yet. But you can post very long messages now. So this is much better for posting kind of long form articles. You'll also notice that the text editing is much cleaner. The ability to post a long form article with inline images and stuff like that, or inline tweets is much nicer. So yeah, so everything is kind of cleaner and smoother. It runs a lot faster. And then I think we still have a lot of refinement to do, a lot of features to bring online. The other thing I'll mention is we do have a checklist of features we're adding, and we'll be adding them during the beta. So I don't know, Jack, if you want to throw that link into the chat. But this is a place where you'll see the stuff we're aware of that we're working on, and then we'll check them off as we add them. The major thing from my perspective that's missing right now, but that's going to be added, There's two in my book. One is the moderation tools. We right now you don't have the fine control that you're going to want, but all that's going to be built out as we build out the profile stuff. Um, and then the other would be the tipping functionality, which we're very used to in the in discussions.app. That's all part of the sort of build out. As we build in side state functionality and more full featured thing as we get closer to launching this and switching over from discussions.app to this new version of discussions.app. So that's the kind of stuff that will come online along with like a massive amount of refinements. But we wanted to get this in the hands of people to, frankly, start finding things that we haven't seen as we've tested, but you never know, edge cases, different browser type
Yeah.
stuff that we have. Things is really going to help us get it so it is pretty bulletproof going forward. Asphyxia, do you want to post the text you had laid out for us that explains the brain key login?
I have that on a post, so I'll do
You
that.
have it?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm
Jack,
I'm gonna be posting a lot of stuff on the Meetup chat channel, and if you're listening to this on audio on YouTube, I'll have them in the box down below. So there's three links that I posted there that Paul mentioned. Was one is the discussions to desktop beta, basically general what you can expect, what are some things we change. It's not exhaustive list of things that we want to cover, but it is a great start. And then the second link is the list of features you want to build out as we continuously roll out updates to the beta. And the lastly is the difference between the brain key and the wallet. We realized that some people might be a bit confused why you need a brain key and a wallet. So that would answer your question as to why that is the case. So yeah.
And then I guess there's one other kind of element here is that a lot of this represents a total kind of refactoring of like the front end, and this is a very kind of solidly from the ground up build that all the things we learned from discussions 1.0 we've tried to apply to avoid some of the problems that were inherent with the way that discussions one was designed and just some of the things we ran into as we were building that out. So this is going to be much more developable, like being able to add like other features more readily and be able to third parties definitely are going to find this much more attractive from from a standpoint of being able to add or utilize bits of this code in their infrastructure. So that's kind of what the other big piece of this is that we really up the usability pretty significantly. So I think that's something to take into account that like while it seems as if the beta might not have as much functionality as discussions.app out the gate, the ability for it to do a lot more and to do it in a truly decentralized way is a lot greater. So
Yeah, so with the launch of the beta, like Paul said, there are quite a few things that you can't do. Obviously, tipping being one of the biggest ones. But if you are a casual user of Novosphere, if you're just reading or just leaving a comment, it's actually gonna make your life a lot easier. Just because you don't have to fire up scatter before you do anything. There's no confusing. Should I post or post ID? You just log on. You create your account. You save your brain key, and you just start using it. It feels like a traditional website, but it's not because we did all the hard work in terms of managing the CPU. When you post, we post from our adapt CPU, discussion CPU. So you never have to worry about that. You never have to worry about your RAM's issues and things like that. Now, obviously, again with the transfer stuff, we're gonna in a future update we're gonna roll out that allows you to attach scatter, and once you have the scatter wallet or any kind of hardware wallet or supported web wallet attached, you could do your full EOS function, including transfer tokens, whatever it is that you want to do. But in terms of usability, this is a huge step forward. It's much faster. The notification system is better. Everything is just better, 10 times better.
Oh, and search works.
And search. So yeah. So if you don't know anything now, you can actually search and find it. I have written so many articles explaining, certain features of the site only for it to be lost into the void and never be found again. But now, now you can search. So, big ups.
Yeah, so I think I think that's the major stuff with this is that I think we're at a point now where the community can expect a lot more regular public facing progress on a
Yep.
variety of fronts. So as we build out discussions too, as the side state and the staking pieces, which are all sort of integrated into this platform, will start coming online. So that's all going to culminate in the full launch where we will switch over from discussions.app and all the history in that system will be transferred over to the new system, and we'll continue on from there. So anything you put into the beta, just you have to expect that it will disappear. It's not meant to be a parallel universe that we continue on with. It's going to it eventually will be rolled into the discussions app. So that's something to kind of to keep in mind, because it really is just a test platform at this point.
Just keep in mind that that doesn't mean that post is not saved onto the blockchain, because it is still. It is
Right.
still posted, but obviously, when we move over, we might. The article still exists on the blockchain, so if you wanna ever go back and dig it up, you can. But for us, it's kind of when we launch, we want to get a fresh start.
Right. The other thing is these are all our new contracts. So we're not relying on stuff that was built for the EOS forum that we were kind of using, and no one else was really using, or they were kind of using. But those had a lot of limitations. So
Yeah.
this is all our new, like, our infrastructure. So I think that's a big piece as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think from my perspective, that's kind of the main thing. I'm just interested in people getting their hands on it and messing around, kind of discussing what features they really like to see. So, we have a couple that we're prioritizing, but, obviously, if there's things that people feel strongly about, well, we can move them off the list if that's, possible or whatever. And then, there's obviously bugs to be found. We have, actually, if you're savvy enough, you can report bugs directly to the GitHub, but you can also just let us know about them, and we've been tracking issues in the GitHub.
And we
We're going
just
to open a thread on discussions.app regarding bugs, so you can just post directly onto that as well, right?
exactly. Just make a post complaining about whatever you found, and then that would definitely get our attention, because we've been playing with the beta ourselves, and yesterday I think we broke quite a few things.
Yeah.
Kept
Yeah.
kept Gux up for quite a bit.
Yeah.
Any incentive for finding bugs? Because nobody's gonna work for free.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you do find a bug, include in the comment section your EOS account, and we could tip you some ammos. That's a great suggestion. Yeah, obviously once we have scatter connection enabled in the next update, it'll be just directly to your EOS account. But until then, just type out your EOS account, and we'll send some ammos your way.
Sounds great.
Yep. So anything else did I miss? So if not,
No.
if not, I'm gonna close down the recording. We'll still be around to any questions anyone might have. We'll be chilling out in the chat as well. So Asphyxia said I cover everything. What about you,
Yep.
Brian? Paul?
Yep.
Yep.
What's going on with the Founders Association of America?
The foundation, you mean?
The found-
Yeah, didn't you guys create a foundation? Are you
Yep.
guys gonna be on big exchanges soon? I mean, wasn't that one of the plans?
Yep.
Yes, that was one of our plans. The main thing is our foundation was established in May, and that was one of the requirements to getting listed on one of the larger exchanges. So right now we're still in the process of revamping the white paper and getting a Chinese translation before we get listed.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so we understand what you're saying, Lutz. Progress on the legal side has been a little bit slower, but like Brian said, the goal was to kind of have everything lined up to, roll things out gradually in a steady pace. So, discussions to beta being one of them, the white paper being another. And then we are in talks with exchanges, and we are, if I'm not mistaken, Brian, we're, to put it again, don't take this too literally, but I would say out probably within the next coming few months, we have some updates on that.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So.
We've been talking with several different exchanges, so if we don't get listed on one of them, we'll definitely get listed on the others.
Yep. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna call it that for the recording. Again, we'll be still in the voice chat answering the questions. We won't be running away. Don't worry, and we'll be back here next week. We are going. Oh, before I sign off. We're gonna have Jester and Miles from Team Greymass. Jester and Miles are the co-founders of Greymass, one of the I think what's the word? Very capable BPs, even though they're not in top 21. They are very capable. They have worked with a lot of projects before on Steam and now on EOS. They recently released their new wallet Anchor, which we are gonna work on supporting in the future. So we're gonna have them on Wednesday, and I'll post the details on that in the announcements tomorrow. So look forward to that. So today, that's the meeting for today, and yeah, see you guys next week, Wednesday.
All right. Take
All
care.
right, bye.
Bye.